know that we are doing smart yoga today. We're doing yoga to make us smarter. Everybody down for some little mind help, little mental clarity, little memory assistance, even just quiet mind, perhaps, is what we can look forward to this morning. So we are going to start seated with a short meditation, and I'm going to introduce some mudras because I'm leading a mudra workshop this weekend, and I want to roll out one of the sequences for you this morning. I think this one is really special. So let's start smart yoga with a comfortable seat. And as you find your comfortable seat, maybe you've got a cushion, maybe even you'd prefer to sit in a chair. But I'd like you to just pause right in these first few seconds of practice with your eyes closed to do a quick check-in. And specifically check in with the mental aspect of your being, your thoughts. And instead of judgment, just bring awareness to how you show up to a yoga practice. For me, my mind is busy. I'm projecting ahead towards the plan that I have for you. I'm thinking about the rest of my day. I'm stuck in a few thoughts about just the conversation we just had. So just notice for you, what is the quality of your mind at the beginning of a practice? And then we'll see at the end if these tools really work. So we're going to start with our hands in a soft fist. And if you can, tuck your thumb under your fingers, but let your pinky tips touch. And give a little pressure. Bring your hands down closer to your belly or your low abdomen. And take a few breaths here. This is the mudra of earth and grounding. So as you breathe in and out, feel your hips on the earth. Feel the energy of the earth beneath you, and maybe even imagine growing roots here to the earth. The living earth pulses within my being, infusing me with all of its essential qualities. And then switch for your ring finger. And for me, this is always a little awkward to hold the fingers together with the ring fingers touching. And again, that can come somewhere near your navel or your low belly. This is the Mudra of Water and the sacral chakra. Feel your breath moving down into your pelvis, your low back. Attuned to the rhythms of my inner sea, I am nourished by waves of healing energy. And then switch out for your middle finger, fingertips touching, and bring this one right in front of your bottom ribs, your solar plexus. This is the fire mudra. And as you breathe in and out here, maybe fire up your breath a little bit. Find that ujjayi breath that seems a little warmer and more active. Cultivating balance in all of my activities, I experience greater energy and vitality. Now switch out for your index fingers. And this mudra is the mudra of air. The fingers are going to be right in front of your heart, the heart chakra. Take some breaths here that you can feel moving through your lungs, your rib cage, surrounding your heart. Attuned to my heart's inner symphony, I live with joy and vitality. And now finally, bring your thumbs together. So the knuckles will come forward, the tips of the thumbs touch. Elbows are going to be a little higher now, and the thumbs are about the level of the sternum or collarbones. This is the mudra for space and the throat chakra. So feel your throat, your center of communication. Feel breath moving in and out freely, traveling through your throat to your lungs and back out again. Through deep listening and enhanced sensitivity, I receive the guidance of my inner communication. And now bring all 10 of your fingertips together, but the palms stay open. So your hands are making kind of a sphere. And bring this down again in front of your navel. This is Hakini Mudra, the goddess Hakini. This is a mudra for the whole body, bringing in all of the elements. All of the facets of my being are integrated as a seamless unity. So as you take these next few breaths, check in again, that simple mudra meditation. What is the quality of your mind in this moment? Is it the same or has anything shifted? Let's continue this practice now, moving into asana, shapes for the body to help us quiet our mind. So bring a block with you. And if you don't have a block, a firm pillow or cushion would be fine. And we're going to come into child's pose. So taking the knees wide, bringing the big toes to touch, let this block come underneath your forehead. And we're going to give a little pressure to the third eye, which is the center of our knowing, our intuition. And we're just going to start to roll side to side. So kind of gently pressing one eyebrow to the block and then the other. And there is a marma point, which you might call a nerve ending here in the forehead, that links directly to the pineal gland. And this is the part of our brain that releases relaxation hormones like serotonin and melatonin. So just a little pressure on the forehead triggers a small relaxation response. Release your forehead. Come up to a tabletop position. Draw your knees closer together. I'm going to invite you to put this block on its high side, and we're going to see if we can put our head on the block in downward facing dog. So it might take a little adjusting for you to find the right place for that. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, maybe bend your knees, and see where you can soften your elbows or maybe extend your body to be able to rest your head in downward facing dog. We're still strong in the hands and lifting through the hips, but just notice this gentle pressure on your head in this active pose. You're going to stay here for 5 full breaths. Each inhale, feeling your body expand. Each exhale, feeling your body soften. Another favorite teacher of mine, Brian Kest, says, you know, yoga poses really are stupid until you make them smart, until we give them meaning and purpose. So let's make these poses today smart. Let's put them to work for us. Release your head up off the block, walk your feet forward, super slow motion. We're gonna come into a forward fold. So if you like, you can bring your hands to the block or you can just hang here in ragdoll. We're gonna be here again for 5 full slow breaths. When you have let that 5th breath go, and there's no rush, finish on your time. Rise through a flat back and reach your arms overhead, extended mountain. And then swan dive again, forward fold. Let's move with our breath, sweeping up and down, moving from the hips. Start to hear the sound of your breath. Bring the volume up a little. Maybe pick up the pace just a little bit. Start to build the heat in your body. And take one more deep breath in. Reach your arms high. Extend as high as you possibly can. Act like you're climbing a rope to get yourself even higher, more lifted. And then gather your hands together, thumbs press again into that marma point, that third eye. Setting an intention for clear mind, mental clarity, wisdom. Relax your shoulders. We're going to flow through our moving meditation known as sun salutations to get our body a little warmer. So release your hands in front of your heart and then take a big sip of air in. Arms reach high. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. On your inhale, step the right foot back, dropping the knee to the mat. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, kneeling plank pose, spin your elbows and lower halfway down, chaturanga. Melt your belly to the earth, roll your shoulders back, inhale, cobra. Exhale back, child's pose. On your next inhale, step the right foot forward into a kneeling lunge. We'll switch sides now. Tucking the back toes, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms sweep high, take in that big gulp of breath. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale, step the left foot back, drop the knee, and exhale, child's pose. Moving meditation, shift forward, take a vinyasa. Kneeling plank to chaturanga, belly to the earth, roll up to cobra, and press back, child's pose. On the inhale, the left foot steps forward, kneeling lunge. Tucking the back toes, step to forward fold. And then inhale, arms reach as tall as you can. Exhale, hands to heart. You can continue stepping back that way. I'm going to lead a more fiery sun A. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step or jump into chaturanga. And then you'll rise up to cobra or up dog. And we will all meet in downward facing dog. That one is optional, just a fun way to change up your practice and build fire. Let's look forward at our hands. Feet come forward, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach. And come back to heart center. Let your thumbs travel up again to the third eye and just check in again. The quality of the mind right now. See if active practice stirs things up or quiets things down for you. Just see. And then keeping the hands right here, let's sink our hips back into chair. You should be able to lift your toes off the floor and sink into your heels. Keep your eyes closed and feel heat building. The energy of fire. Slowly rise up, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's take a vinyasa, knees or toes.
Breathe.
From downward facing dog, raise your right leg. Draw that foot through. Turn the back heel down and rise up, warrior one. Exhale, hands to mat. Take a vinyasa, knees or toes. Move slow. This is a moving meditation, even though we're building fire. Slow burn. Left leg raises. Stepping through. Let's come on up, warrior one. And hands to mat. One more time, vinyasa, knees or toes. I'm going to pause right here in downward facing dog. If you'd like to pull that block back under your head, we're here for 5 breaths. Let your armpits draw toward the floor. Let your shoulder blades be open. Head below the heart. We're getting lots of blood flow to the brain. Shift your eyes forward. Bring your feet to your hands for a half lift and forward fold. Bend the knees, arms reach high, extend into mountain pose. And then hands to heart, sink into chair. We're going to take that fire mudra again. So the tips of the middle fingers are touching, hands in a soft fist right in front of solar plexus, sink low. If you want, you can pretend you are flipping me off here. Anger can be part of fire, it's okay. So press those fingers together, sit as low as you can, and then close your eyes, feel heat. Feel the element of fire in your body. Maybe it's uncomfortable, maybe you love being in the heat. Just feel. Inhale, let your arms reach high. Exhale loud, forward fold. Halfway lift to downward facing dog. Take a vinyasa, knees or toes. Inhale the right leg up, step through, warrior one. Finish up this sun B, and we'll stay in our heat. Vinyasa. Left leg lifts and steps. Rise up with fiery breath, warrior one. One final vinyasa. That should do the trick. Once again, downward facing dog. If you want to bring that block in, we're here for 5 full breaths. This is the part where your body settles after all that movement. Sigh it out.
Breathe.
When you finish those 5 breaths, lift your head, step forward to the top of your mat for a half lift and a fold. Put the bend back in your knees. Inhale to the fire mudra. Pressing the tips of the fingers together, shoulders on the back. One final time, close your eyes and feel fire. The gift of fire that helps us cook our food, heat our homes. And also the fire that destroys impurities, it takes away. Sink lower with your next breath. And then rise to mountain pose. Palms together, thumbs on the forehead. Notice again qualities of the mind, the mental body. And your hands to the crease of your hips. And let's start to move into some hip opening. So soften the knees, hinge forward, and come back into your forward fold. Let's keep the right foot where it is. Step the left foot back and drop your left knee to the ground. The back toes point to the back wall. Letting this hip flexor kind of catch up with us. Let's use our front knee to bring us to a kneeling lunge. And then we'll bring in the earth mudra, pinky fingers touching, hands in a soft fist. And we'll just hold this right in front of our chest, envisioning this grounding energy. So feel your right foot pressing down into the earth. Feel your left knee, left shin grounding you down. And from that grounded place, lift through the crown of your head. Just let your energy pull up away from these roots. From this lifted place, rotate to the right side. Keep the earth mudra, a reminder to stay grounded, planted, connected. Lift through the crown of your head. And float back to center. Hands come to the front thigh, tuck the back toes, and then sweep your arms up. Take a deep breath in, cross your thumbs, and pull your hands back. Let this be an expansion, almost like a celebration. Release your hands into cactus arms. Hands in front of the heart. Fold forward. And step the back foot to meet the front foot. Wiggle out your knees a little bit. Let's keep the left foot where it is. Right foot steps back. Dropping the knee. Siri's talking to me. Forward fold, yoga with Adrienne. Thanks, Siri. That's never happened before. Pressing ourselves a little more upright. Let's take that earth mudra once again. Tips of pinkies touching, hands close to heart center. And then root down. Take that grounding energy, root down, lifting through the crown of the head. As you breathe here into this long space of your spine, slowly rotate to the left side. Pressing the pinkies together, shoulders relaxed. Tall through the head, deep through the feet. Returning to center. Bring your hands to your thigh, tuck the back toes and lift. As we cross our thumbs, find the awkward way, the way that doesn't seem natural, and then let your hands lift you and draw you slightly backwards. Breathe here, everybody, into this shape. Release to cactus arms, open even more. And hands come to heart. Hinging forward from the hips, lower hands to the earth, and then we'll step back, downward facing dog. You can stay here and pedal out your heels or take a vinyasa. Or maybe there's something else that your body wants to do for a transition. Maybe cat-cow or child's pose. We're going to move into a sequence of water, of flowing like water with the energy of water. So as you raise your right leg, I'd like you to just imagine synchronized swimming. Just reach that leg up out of the water and make your movements delicate. As you exhale, shift your body forward with these graceful movements. Help your foot find its way to the top of your mat and drop the back heel. Rise up in this more water-like way, a little more soft, a little less fiery. And then bring the ring fingers together, closing the palms, the Mudra of Water. I don't know why that one's complicated for me. Bring the hands down in front of the pelvis, shoulders on the back. Take deep breaths in, and I'd like you to just picture a body of water that you're familiar with. It could be the ocean, it could be your own bathtub. Like, where is your favorite place to immerse yourself in water? Bring this mudra up in front of the heart and start to spin your body open into warrior two. Take a wider, deeper stance. Release your hands and slowly float the arms out. Warrior two. And let's start to move with our breath as if we were synchronized swimmers moving together. Inhale to reverse the warrior and exhale into your side bend. Imagine just spinning this big ball around you. I picture that we've got a big sphere at our zoo that spins with water. You've probably seen that. I'm just kind of picturing rolling this big granite stone covered in water. Ease, flow. Take one more deep breath in, and as you do, straighten your front leg, reach your fingers up. Let the side body open. And then tee up your arms for triangle pose. Bring your right hand to the crease of your right hip, and then push your hips toward the wall behind you. They're kind of a sideways, sassy hip. Let the arm come out again and follow your fingers as far as you can before tilting into Trikonasana. Maybe a little graceful movement of your fingers, keeping the property of water. Neck stays in line with the spine. You can look up and look down to see if your neck is in the right place. And then shift yourself back to warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale as you windmill hands to the floor, downward facing dog. And then your choice of how you transition between two sides. Do you take a vinyasa? Do you come into child's pose? What does your body need here? Thinking of water, let's raise the left leg high, and then just graceful movements with the toes. Slow motion, shifting forward and planting the left foot. Let's drop the heel and reach up, warrior one. And the hands come down into the water mudra, ring fingertips touching, soft fist, hands just in front of the pelvis. Close your eyes, and again, imagine a body of water place you would like to just immerse yourself. And feel even the temperature of the water on your skin. Slowly rotate toward the side of your mat and peel your arms open into a wider warrior two. Relax your fingers. And then moving like water, inhale, reverse warrior, exhale, side angle. "70 to 80% of our body is water. So it's not that much of a stretch to imagine moving in a water-like way. Less attention to the rigid movement of our bones and joints, and more attention to the soft shifting of water inside of us as we move. On the next inhale, straighten the left leg, reverse warrior, come up nice and high. And then the left hand to the hip crease. Reach your right arm out and hinge from the hip toward the left side, coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Fingers stay loose and light. Soften any hard edges while you expand. And with a soft knee, inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, hands to mat. Downward facing dog. And your choice, stay here or flow with your breath. Finding a transition. Let's widen our feet, bringing the toes to the outside edges of our mat. And we'll bring our hands closer to our feet. You can soften the knees as much as you like. Interlace your hands behind your neck. And give yourself a nice little neck massage, the back of your neck with your thumbs. The weight of your hands gently pulling the head downward. Getting this blood flow to the brain. You might shift your weight to the left foot and to the right foot, finding the outer hips, deepening the breath. And then let's bring our fingertips to the floor. Inhale to a flat back. We'll take a twist here, and you might want your hand on your block. Let me grab mine. The left hand on the floor or block in front of you. Sweep the right arm up, and as you do, put a big bend in your left knee. The right leg straightens. If this doesn't feel good here, keep your hand on your back. Just find that outside edge of the right hip. Release to the earth. Switch. As the left arm comes up, the right knee bends. Breathe into the length of the spine and the depth of your twist. And hands release to the earth. Step one more time into downward facing dog. This will be the last time I offer the invitation to take a vinyasa. Not required by any means. When you're ready, we're going to lower our knees to the earth, and we're going to turn to the side of our mat for everyone's favorite frog pose. So we've done some work for the hip flexors, the hamstrings, and the outer hips. We need to pay attention to the inner hips, the inner thighs. So fold the edges of your mat. So there's a little extra padding on the outside. And then come into a really wide child's pose, as wide as you can get your knees. You might even like inch your knees wider, kind of wedge your knees wider. Once you find that, make sure the knee and the hip are in line. You're going to lower to your elbows. For more intensity, flex your feet and kick your feet wider like a frog would. For less intensity, draw your toes in. But we're actually looking for more intensity here, as much as you can tolerate without pain. Take deep breaths. Create the mudra of air by making soft fists in front of you and pressing your pointer fingers together. We're just resting on our elbows, and we've got this mudra, which is connected to our heart. As you're taking deep breaths, feel the air expanding your heart, your shoulder blades, your rib cage, your waist, and of course your hips. You can create a little pressure at your fingertips as a kind of a drawing towards center, even as your knees widen. Deepen your breath. Take one more breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Release the mudra. Bring your hands underneath you. Press up, and inch your knees in. Please tell me you all made that sound that I just made. Some kind of a scream. Mat goes wide. Let's come around to a seat. And we're going to come into boat pose. The boat pose is the last of our fiery poses for the day. The rest will be more calming. So bring your hands to the backs of your knees, lift your chest, and tilt backwards into Navasana, or boat pose. You can stay right here, or you can float your arms. Let's make active feet today. So it's like you're pointing and flexing at the same time. You're going to make Barbie toes. Pull your toes towards you and press the balls of your feet away from you. You'll feel the muscles in your lower legs engage. Spread the fingers wide, lift your chest. And breathe. Legs can be more bent or more straight. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your feet to the earth. Come to easy seat. Tall spine. Finishing here with the space mudra, thumbs touching, spine tall. The mudra of throat chakra and voice. Checking in again with mental state, the quality of the mind. Take one more deep breath here. And exhale, release your hands to your lap. I'm going to move into a little twist. So let's bend the right knee and extend the left leg out on an angle. So the right foot comes in close to the hip, the spine is tall. We're going to take the arms out in a T and kind of like helicopter blades, we're going to spin to the right side. Give yourself a few tries to just see how your torso muscles can twist. Where's your natural stopping point? Stop there and plant the hands. Inhale through the crown. Exhale, deepen and look over your back shoulder. Soften your jaw, soften your eyes. Feel your twist. And ease your way back to center. I'm going to shift our weight onto this right knee. The left arm lifts up and back, coming into a long side body, a little bit of a back bend. And release to seated. Bring the soles of both of your feet together. Bounce out your knees a little bit. And we'll switch sides. So the left knee is bent, the right leg is straight. Lengthen through the crown, create those helicopter blades, and then test the waters on this side. When you find your natural stopping point, plant your hands. Sit tall and deepen your twist. I think it's interesting that most of us have a little more mobility twisting to the right than we do the left. And one factor could be when we drive our cars, we always turn to the right when we're backing up, when we're getting things out of the back seat. We do a lot of right twisting and not as much left twisting. Notice if that's true for you. Soften your jaw, deepen your breath. As we unwind back to center, the right arm sweeps up and brings us into this side body back bend. Really fill yourself with breath. And then return to the earth. All right, both legs extended, have a block nearby. We're gonna roll down onto our back, planting our feet for bridge. We're gonna come into a little bit bigger bridge today than we sometimes do. So we'll start by just tilting the tailbone, lifting the hips, and coming into just bridge. Just right there, glutes engaged a little, hips in line. And then an invitation, if you're interested, make your arms kind of like robot arms, 90-degree bend, and press your triceps into the earth, which causes the rib cage to rise a little bit. Start to snuggle those shoulders down a little closer to the feet, and you might just stay right there. If your limbs are, kind of agreeable to this, bring your hands underneath your hips and support your bridge with your own hands. You could also slide a block under your hips. Option to extend one leg. Move that ankle a little bit. Find a deep breath. And then rotate that thigh so that you're making a figure 4 and lower your hips to the ground. Slowly draw the legs in towards you, finding a nice hip opening stretch. You can place your right hand on your right knee and press that knee away as the left leg comes in closer. Exaggerate your breath. Placing the left foot on the floor, we'll move into a twist. So open your arms in a T. You could just tilt the legs into a twist here. If you'd like a little bit more depth or sensation, cross your legs all the way. Shift to the right and drop to the left. The head turns to the right. Shoulder blades stay connected to the earth. And we breathe. Feel the back of your head resting on the earth. These breaths bathing your brain with fresh oxygen. One more breath in. With a soft sigh out, the knees return to center and to the earth. Let's repeat that sequence, starting with easy bridge. Hips come up. You might find that this is where you want to stay. If you'd like to go a little higher, press the backs of your arms into the earth and let that lift your rib cage. Snuggle those shoulders down a bit and support yourself in bridge, hands, or a block. If you'd like, lift the left leg up, point and flex those toes, circle the ankle, breathe. Awesome inversion, and inversions are the pose for the brain. Let's rotate that knee out, finding a figure 4, and slowly lower the hips. Let your spine reset and then draw the legs in. You can press the left knee away from you. Find your intensity here. Something that gets your attention but doesn't hurt. It's interesting, but not too intense. And when you're ready, we'll move into twist. So you could go straight from the figure 4 or wrap the legs a bit more. Shifting left, dropping right. Now the head turns to the left. And there is that deepest, most profound breath. See if you can even feel those oxygen molecules bathing your brain, taking away any tension, tightness, restriction. Take one more deep breath here. And slowly roll your hips back to center, uncross your legs. And keep your arms out wide for a moment. Stretch your left heel to the left corner of your mat and the right heel to the right corner of your mat. Just allow yourself to be here in this wide Shavasana for a moment. Feel the weight of your body on the earth. You can stay just like this, or maybe there's an adjustment you need to make to be able to rest for a couple of minutes. Let yourself observe a natural breath, not forced. Just the natural breath that comes in and out of your nose. Observe that with curiosity and quiet awareness. being aware of your breath. Allow yourself to start moving your fingers and your toes. Start to stretch your body out long. Maybe a yawn emerges, maybe a sigh. And we'll find our way over to one side. Just taking your time. When you're ready, come back to a seat. From this seat, bring all of your fingers together again in this Hakini Mudra. The goddess, Hakini, is the goddess of wholeness. As you gently touch your fingers together, close your eyes and check in again with the quality of your thoughts, the mental state. As you take a few more breaths, just notice if anything has shifted, softened, or expanded in that space. All of the facets of my being are integrated as a seamless unity. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring your hands together in this respectful, grateful mudra. Honor yourself for making time, and know that you are leaving your mat smarter. Have an amazing day. Namaste.